Woo, woo. Grand Rising, darlings.
Grand Rising, beautiful.
How are you feeling this morning?
Amazing.
Yes, we are here. We made it another week. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
So glad you guys made it.
We're glad you made it.
Man, for some strange reason, I couldn't get into my account. Okay.
It's
Watch
called
out.
life.
We know.
I be watching out.
We know what they be trying to do.
Girl, I put a post up late last night saying, announcing the show or advertising and promoting it, whatever. And then I get up the next morning, I can't get in. Okay.
Yeah, they test you. They be messing with you.
All the time. Good morning, ladies. How y'all feeling this morning?
Wonderful.
I'm still waking up. Like, I went to bed super late. That's what was wrong with me last week. I went to bed super late. I don't know why I think I'm still in my 20s. I'm not. But I'm here today.
The body will remind you.
Every day. Every day the body reminds me. Every day. All right. So today, are you guys excited? We are continuing our series for June, first, let me back up. Good morning. My name is At Peace Makita. Welcome to Mommy Mogul Mindset. Today, here we talk about being a mom, we talk about being a mogul, and we talk about having the mindset to be successful. So we are really excited about this month's theme. For June, we're going to be talking about 4 women from men with love. So we're going to have that conversation. We're going to have a conversation, intimate conversations, or up close and personal conversations with men about certain topics. Today, we have Jujuan Buford. Jujuan is my businessman, my business coach. He coaches me through my business. He's helped me so much through my brand. I've really appreciated all of his insight and feedback. And he's really just helped me to be comfortable in my own skin, be comfortable being myself in my business, showing up as myself. And I just think that he's going to have a lot of great advice for us today. So he is our special guest. He is a father. We're doing this in honor of Father's Day. And he is a father. So, and a businessman. He's just really influential in the city. He helps a lot of young Black businesses be successful. I have a whole bio that I'm going to read about him. But before we get all the way into it, I want to say good morning to you all. Good morning. Danyelle, good morning. How are you, my beautiful co-host? Say hello to Danyelle.
Good morning, ladies.
Rising.
I just want to say I do have a special guest on. I am working remotely. I have to bring the show to my job. So there's Miss Bonnie on the phone, who is my client.
Hi,
She's
Miss
never
Bonnie.
seen me do this on a Monday. So we're doing this. So she's going to listen on while I do this in her kitchen. She's in her living room. We're going to work this out.
All right, welcome,
if she needs,
Miss Bonnie.
I just want to let you know if she needs me for anything, I got to step off camera, make sure she's okay, but she going to actually get the chance to do what I do on a Monday. So
that's no problem.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
so that's what I love about technology. You can take this anywhere. You could be in a park. You could be at work. You can do this anywhere. So yes, so Miss Bonnie gets a chance to see, a different side of me, and I'm happy about that.
Oh, hey, Miss Bonnie. Thank you for joining us. All right, so we're going to jump right into today. Let's see. Oh, before we get started, ladies, what's up? Good morning. Where's your one word? Let's check in. What's your one word for this morning? We got 9 ladies on the chat today. So what's your one word for today? Give us one word that just sums up everything and describes exactly where you at in this present moment.
Ooh.
Anybody? Jump in.
Present.
Sunshine.
Present.
Blessed.
Present, blessed. Okay, I'm here for it.
Acceptance. Flexible. Oh.
Flexible, acceptance. Okay, come at me.
Loving.
Loving, okay. My word is
Succeeding.
colorful.
Succeeding. Mine's a succeeding.
Succeeding. Yes. I missed someone's in there. Somebody just said one.
Mine probably don't have, mine is always off the wall, but this is how I feel. Long as the sun is shining, it is sunshine for me.
Sunshine. We'll
Yay.
take it. No wrong words here. All right.
There you
Did
go.
everybody get a chance to throw their word out and mix up the gumbo pot this morning? My word is colorful, if you can't tell.
Your hair is beautiful.
Thank you, girl. It took me, well, you know, you got to stop, go. So it took me like all night to do it. But it was fun. I haven't braided my own hair. Well, I braid my own hair all the time, but I haven't cornrowed my own hair in a long time. So that was fun. But yeah, it was a different
Okay,
experience.
just jump in.
Hi there. I just want to say I'm grateful for
Hey,
life,
everybody.
love, and for the blessings of God.
Yes, we received that. Thank you. All right, ladies. Well, like I said in the beginning, we have an awesome series for June. We're talking about 4 women from and with love. So this conversation is in honor of Father's Day. I am a daddy's girl. I must say, I was raised by my dad primarily. And let me see, let me make sure I got my technology together. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one second. All right, so this month we are dedicating our show in honor of the masculine energy. We all have feminine and masculine energy within us. So we want to honor our masculine side this month by having men come on as guests and just share their perspective, as well as just dive deeper into our connection with the men in our lives. So last week we wrote a love letter, or just a letter to the primary man. Doesn't matter if it's your son, your uncle, your husband, doesn't matter. The primary man in your life who really touches you, who really does that for you, who you know you're in love with, who you know loves you. And so I am excited. I want to know all the tea. I know somebody got some tea for me about what happened with your letter journey last week. So please, ladies, don't hold back. Let me know what's up. Who wants to go first? Who would like to share what their experience was last week with the whole writing the letter? Did anybody write the letter? Did anybody send the letter? Don't be shy. Nobody did the assignment?
I did the assignment. I just didn't want to be the first one to jump in.
Tell the truth. Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, so I wrote a letter to my father. My father is an ancestor. It was deep because my father was there up until age of 5, but I didn't know that my father had drug addictions from when he was a teenager that impacted his life and the lives of others around him. And my letter was just to let him know how that decision that you made as a teenager, how much it impacted. I don't think he realized how much it impacted my life. That, you know, his presence of being there but not being there, it did something. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it transformed my whole lifestyle as to how I have men show up for me. And it was just one of those letters that was just like, hey, I don't think you realize how much this impacted me. That impact. It's like, whoa. And it's like, I forgive you. I'm not holding anything against you. I'm just letting you know that your presence of non-presence of being there had a huge impact. And it set the tone for everybody. No, my father passed away in 2007, the same year my mom passed away. My parents passed away for almost 90 days apart.
Okay.
But they were divorced. They were divorced for 17 years. So I don't know how that one happened.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, the addictions caught up to him. You know, they caught up. And yeah, it was Memorial Day weekend that he passed. So he's no longer here. He's here as an ancestor. And I know there was things that he wanted to do for me when he was alive, but you know, time ran out. So, and yeah, it was just that impact that we don't know the decisions that we do now affect generations later on. And it's a powerful, just make you realize like you got to be careful about what your decisions are, because you don't know who in the future that's going to have an impact on. So it was just powerful. It was just like, wow, I thought I had healed from that and close, but I was like, no, it just opened up a door. Like, it's just the impact. That's the word I'm thinking of, impact. Just a huge impact. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'm not mad at you. I'm not upset at you. I'm just, this was the impact that occurred, that's happening right now from that decision that you did when you was 15 years old. It's powerful.
That's deep.
It's truly powerful.
That's deep. Thank you, Danyelle. I can totally relate to that. My father, as much as I love him, you know, and he raised me the best that he could. I take nothing away from what he gave me. He too was addicted to drugs and alcohol, and that had a huge effect on me too. So I'm sure we'll get way deeper into the conversation. But before we do that, I want to find out from anybody else that would like to share, how was your journey? What's going on here? Talk to me. Don't make me be a teacher today. Did anybody get a chance to participate in the assignment last week? If not, we're going to move forward. Going once? Going twice.
I'm gonna share.
Hey, Hawa. Okay, so we'll have Hawa and then we'll have Wanili. I'm sorry, I saw Hawa's hand first. Okay, go ahead. Oh, take your mute off, sweetie.
It comes out tomorrow, so I'm excited just to see this book in the world and how it's
okay.
Because it's being published by National Geographic.
Someone needs to mute themselves. Thank you. Okay.
I had to find mine and pull it up. I was thinking about the song Roberta Flack, First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. And I was just listening to that song and I said, oh, wow, this is so perfect. I apologize to Roberta Flack for jacking her song up, but
don't start, girl.
But last Monday, I said that the person for me was, I call him my sticky bug that just won't go away, but we've been knowing each other for over 20 something years. And he was my forbidden love because I was already married, but this was a person that really is balanced with his yin and yang, and he could feel and address female side just like the male. He was so balanced, or is so balanced. And I called him my MBL, my Black love. And so it goes like this. First time ever I saw your face, I thought the raw, the father, the sun rose in your eyes. And I was your mystical mother, Asut, the moon. And the luminous Sirius stars were the gift we gave to each other. The dark and the endless sky, my love, from the light and the endless terms, my friend. And the first time ever we held hands, I felt the earth shift in the reason for our being. Like the trembling beat of a captive bird, you were there at my command, my love, and I was there at your command, my friend. And the first time ever we allowed to trust, I felt your heart so close to mine. I knew our joy would feel a lifetime and last until the end of time, my love. And it would last till the end of our time, my friend. The first time ever I saw your face, your face, your face. Asante Sana, I thank you, my MBL, my Sirius rising, my brother, my father, my friend, my bro, my roadie, Ashe. Well,
I say. Well, I say.
Well, he's really deep in the metaphysical. He's really deep, and he calls himself Sirius. And Sirius is that star that rise in the Kemetic energy, or, you know. So he had a past where he was called Black, but he said Black has died because he has moved on. But he had went through some rough times. He had 2 daughters that were killed, and they were very young. And he went through a period in his life where he was very dark. He lost all his friends, but the universe wouldn't release me, and I was there for him. In the meantime, he was my soldier. I was married, but my husband walked a different path. This was my roadie, my soldier that I can come to, I can call on. He didn't hold back correcting me and pushing me. Like I said, I stayed more angry at him, but after my reading, it was to inspire me, to push me, because he saw something in me that I didn't see in my own self. And it's like, I asked him, would he speak, since it's male time or our men energy time. And I don't know. He worked with young men in detention, and he's really good at what he does. He honor and respect the female energy. He corrects all the time that there's a balance without female there, without male. It's just not balanced. Male, female. We study the sympathetic, and parasympathetic, the male and the female side of balancing. And I would have said my dad was in my life for only 3 years. My mother raised me in a different household with a stepfather because she remarried, and she wanted me to feel a part of that family. So my mother had passed now, but near the end, she said that she wished that I had more of a relationship in my life, that it would have been a different impact. To be raised with a stepfather, he did well. He provided me the shelter and all, but it was not the love. It was not that extra something. And so when I did get to meet my father, I was a teenager and I had to meet him on my own, So when I met him in 19, 20, 21, bam, he would stroke, heart attack, live that type of lifestyle. He lived in Vegas. He was gone. And so I became angry with men. And I thought there was such a disappointment. So like Danyelle was saying about, how you feel about your father, it took me a long time to really open up and say, hey, I look in the mirror, I see him. I have ways like him. I love him. It wasn't his fault, It was just something at that era that my mother thought she was doing the best she could do. And she wanted me, and you can't trick a child. She used to try to say that this was my dad, and hey, I knew it wasn't. I could feel it wasn't. I could see in the faces of all the rest of them, I have 5 siblings, that it was their dad and not mine. So I became that rebellious teenager. I cut up, I showed out, and it was all for attention. I think if I had my true dad in my life, I would have been a different person today. But I turned out okay. Like I said, I don't want to go too deep off the conversation.
No, I'm glad you shared. If you felt you needed to get that off, I'm glad you did. So thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. All right. So clearly, I think we're going to end up having some type of conversation about dads, because that word keeps coming up, impact. So thank you, Danyelle, for kicking that off. All right. Who's next? One more person. Nawili. Yes, please share with us. What was your journey like from last week?
All right. So, of course, I don't know. I didn't get the assignment. I must have spaced. However, I wrote something just now.
Okay, girl. Thank you for your participation.
And the person that came up was, his name was Mr. Sherman. Mr. Sherman was my aunt who raised me, boyfriend, beloved. Mr. Sherman just jumped right in. He had 2 children. He just treated my brother and I like we were his own. So at a point in my life, I realized that he had been my father figure, even though my father was here in Detroit, remarried with, continued family. I love you, Daddy. I probably could discuss exactly what y'all discussing too. And I must say, since I've been here in Detroit, he's come to me, my father who has transitioned, and told me how much he loved me. I'm good. I'm good. So, Mr. Sherman, at a point in my life, I realized what an impact he had made. So positive, always there, strong. He was cut like, quote unquote, a lumberjack, just strong, just black, shiny skin, high cheekbones. Cute. And he just transitioned this year. He would have been, I turned 70 in December. He would have been 100 this year. So this is for Mr. Sherman. And in the meantime, I guess about 10 or 20 years ago, I sent him 40 letters I had written for Father's Day to him, just telling him how much I loved him. So, dear Mr. Sherman, I'm just piping in and calling in to say I love you and I appreciate you so much. You almost made 100 years young, yet in spirit, you're ageless. Thank you for standing in for me and my brother always, for loving me no matter what. I know I was a pretty quirky girl, but you rode with the punches. That big red car that you drove around, hitting those curves off the freeway was so much fun. That laugh, that smile, and your strength, and always providing all that we needed, whether love, a shoulder, material things, you were always present. You are my love, my example to love and to keep going. Thank you for standing in and reminding me that it's all well. So it is.
No, really, it's too early to be crying this week. Okay, it's just too early. That was so beautiful. That was so sweet. I would love a letter like that. That was awesome.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. I felt like I was there. I felt like I could see the red car jumping off the freeway. Like, that was deep. Thank you so much for sharing, for participating in the assignment. I appreciate it. All right, so we're going to move on to the next part of today. Before long, I think we have about, let me see. We have about 10 more minutes. Jujuan should be joining us. So before we get off into that, we're going to do a brief meditation. All right, so we can get ourselves centered and grounded and ready. Today, he's going to talk about business, how to use what we already got to really accentuate our business and accentuate our brand. And it's going to be super simple and easy. So if you're new to Mommy Mogul Mindset, welcome. I am at Peace Makita, my co-host, Danyelle Claxton. We are the Grand Rising Elizabeth. And today we're talking about 4 women from men with love. So we're going to have an in-depth discussion with Jujuan Buford. He's going to come on. He's going to talk to us about like what I just said. All right. So before we get started with that, let's go ahead and do our meditation. Are you ladies ready for meditation?
Ready.
All right.
Ready.
Get it in. Let's get it in. We're going to do a very brief one today just to make sure that we have time to get everything in. So I think it's really important that when we're tapping into our masculine energy, that we are focused on grounding primarily, because the masculine energy, it depicts grounding. It depicts that stability that we need in our lives. And so we're just going to tap into that through our bodies today. Super easy. It's not hard at all. You can do it really with your breathing. So we're just going to make a deeper connection with our breath. And as we do that, you're going to feel a sense of groundedness. All right. So I want you to get in your mind's eye before we even get started. I want you to get in your mind's eye what that means to you, what grounded or grounding means to you specifically. So get that clear in your mind's eye before we get started. You don't have to share it with anyone but yourself. And I'm going to get the music situated. Sorry for all the notifications. All right, but as always, as we meditate, you already know that if anything comes to you, you're going to allow it to come to you and pass through you and stay right where you are, focused on your meditation. So y'all know that already. Y'all know that. All right, so as you focus on grounding, as you determine what that means for you and what we're going to experience what that feels like in our bodies. Okay, so I want you to feel what it feels like to be sitting as yourself right now. Go ahead and feel your buttocks under your body, your hips under your body, feel your feet, the soles of your feet connecting in whatever capacity they can. If you're lying down, your soles of your feet are connecting with air. If you are sitting like I am, your feet are connecting with earth, okay? Maybe you are laying in a tub, I don't know, your feet are connecting with water, okay? So you wanna go ahead and just make that connection with your body. And then the next thing we wanna do is we want to focus on our breathing. So as you inhale and exhale, just breathe normal. And what does that feel like to you? And be conscious of the mental conversations that you have as you're breathing. So inhale through your nose. Gently exhale out your mouth. Inhaling and exhaling. Bring your awareness to your listening. And just take mental note of what you hear right now. You don't have to attach yourself to any of it. Just allow, as if you were a tree. Just be. Inhaling through the nose. Gently exhaling out the mouth. Holding on to nothing. Now bring your awareness to what you're thinking about in this moment. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling out the mouth. Feeling gravity do its job. Make the connection. If you're sitting in a chair, connect to the chair. Sink into the chair. Give yourself permission to move towards the core of Mama Earth, where it is safe, where it is sacred. Inhaling through the nose, gently exhaling out the mouth. And as you inhale and bring that life force up your spine to the crown chakra, the center of your head, feel the heavens, the light of God pouring in through your crown. As you exhale, bring that energy of heaven down through your crown, down your spine, throughout your body, all the way down through the soles of your feet, back into the earth. And we're just going to use our breath as our umbilical cord, use our breath as our guide. So as you inhale and exhale, begin to feel roots kind of, or antennas kind of coming out of the soles of your feet down into the earth. It can be a rope, it can be a string, but you want to feel that connection that we naturally have with the core of the earth. Just allow that energy to pour down. It could be light, it could be vibration, but allow that energy to pour from the soles of your feet down into the earth. Inhaling and exhaling. And as that energy from you is traveling down through the earth to the core, feel that energy connect with Mama Earth. Feel that energy tap into the core of Mama Earth. And allow that energy to intertwine, connect with the core. Once you get there, plug in. Wrap that energy around your energy and connect. Inhaling and bringing that energy back up, all the way up, up, up through the crown, back to the heavens. And bringing all that beautiful light from the heavens down, down, down through the crown chakra, all the way down through your chakra system, through your body, all the way down to the soles of your feet, and back out into the core of Mama Earth. This is our true connection. This is how far and deep we go. Feel what that feels like to always be protected, always be provided for, to have an infinite and eternal connection. Inhaling, gently exhaling, and just nestle yourself in this energy for a moment. Just snuggle up to the bosom. Sink into this energy. Rest here. And as you do, remind yourself or say to yourself, natural state, natural state, natural state. No matter where you are, no matter what you're going through, this is your safe space. Remind yourself and just say, natural state, natural state. And you can return to this space whenever you are ready. Inhaling here, exhaling fully. Just be in this moment. There's no rush. There's no worry. Feel what that feels like for a moment. As we begin to make our descent back into 3D, third dimension, give yourself permission to bring back with you whatever you may need. Get those last bits of information and vibration. And as you descend back into yourself, back into the shell we call a body, inhaling and exhaling, feel what it feels like to take your time. Feel what it feels like to gently arrive, using your breath as your guide. And when you are ready, feel yourself slowly, gently moving and wiggling your fingers and toes. Being gentle with yourself. Feel what that feels like. And slowly, gently open your eyes. Welcome back. Oh, welcome back. Yes, we went traveling there for a moment. I love it. So please, if you'd like, if you have a journal or paper and pen, go ahead and write down your messages that you received so you don't miss a thing. I'll give you about a moment or two to do that. Just sit with yourself for a moment. Take your time. One minute. Thirty seconds. All right, ladies. We're going to go ahead and wrap up our journal writing. Go ahead and take a deep breath. Bring yourself back to center. I hope you all enjoyed the travel. If you would like to share with the group anything that you brought back, you know, we want to hear the tea. What's the tea on the other side? What's the cosmic tea? So if anyone would like to share, you are welcome to do so. I also would like to welcome Jujuan. I see that he has joined us in the Zoom room. Hey, Jujuan. We're just wrapping up our meditation and then we'll be ready for you. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, so ladies, if anyone would like to share what they experienced in their meditation or any messages that they got, please feel free to do so.
Mama Head.
Oh, okay. Yes, Mama Head. Hey, Mama Head. Grand Rising, darling.
Unmute yourself, dear.
Unmute yourself so we can hear you. We can't
Unmute yourself.
She said she did, but we can't hear her. Maybe turn up the volume on your phone.
Hello, hello.
Hey, there she go. Hey, girl, hey.
Speaker's not connecting. Okay. In my good morning, Elizabeth. That's what I want to say.
Good rising. Good
Grand
rising.
So my message today was to send peace beyond understanding, understanding, and understanding to people. We seem to build some of our information based on what we think other people are thinking, and that comes from self-doubt and not having a relationship with self. And I just wanted to share that, to send peace beyond all understanding.
Ashe, Ashe. Thank you, Mama.
Ashe.
Anybody else like to share?
Yeah, I'd like to share. I was reminded that let me see here, of this statement that I am rooted in the soil of riches. That's where your diamonds and all the, the goodies are. I am rooted in that. I am grounded. And so I have this picture. I don't know if you could see that.
Oh yeah, the tree, beautiful. Yeah, with the light coming in.
So I am rooted in the soil of riches. I am grounded in sufficiency. And I am basking in abundance. So I saw myself up under the ground, just laying in the ground, just being there, walking around under the ground, because all of that, all the riches are right there. It's right there. In that tree, rooted down and all around on the surface of the ground is everything I need. Food, housing, clothing, all of that is there for me.
Yes.
And the sun, I am basking in abundance. There is sun for everyone. There's air for everyone. There's no lack at all. And so just reminding myself that I am grounded. I am rooted in the soil of riches. I am grounded in sufficiency, and I am basking in abundance. And I'll walk in that. And I remind myself constantly that that is who I am. That is. So.
Ashe.
Beautiful,
beautiful.
Yes, that was awesome. Thank you for sharing. All right. Anyone else like to share? Going once, going twice. Miss Bonnie, you was in it. I don't know where you went, Miss Bonnie, but you were in it, sis. Okay. I don't know where you went. Hold on.
There you go.
What'd you say?
Oh, there I am. I don't know what happened.
No, I muted you.
Oh, did you want to say something?
No.
Okay. It was really nice to see you traveling like that, just in your own world. Just you seem to really be happy.
Oh, thank you. And I was thinking, I have to admit, I was thinking somewhat of what the young lady who spoke just before. I was outside and I was standing at a fence that had a shrub that went all along it. And there were huge trees there. And I just thought about how beautiful Mother Earth or God had made for all of his children.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it. And I just stood there, and the shade, the sun came through the shade, the air was clean, and I was just thinking how blessed I was to be able to enjoy this for the whatever time I had left on this earth.
Yes, I love it. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for sharing. I love the power of our imaginations. Like no matter where we are, our imagination, our creativity is with us. I love that. Thank you, Miss Bonnie.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, so I think we are ready to get this thing popping. Sheila, before we get started, if you would like to, actually, I want to introduce Jujuan first. Give people a little something to want to come over to the Zoom room for.
Yeah, and why don't you just go ahead and introduce
right on in.
Tell them we're about to leave. They better come on.
We about to leave. Y'all better come on. We about to go. If you don't know already, the first hour we do live, but this next hour is where you really, really, really want to be, because we are going to get up close and personal with our special guest, Jujuan Buford. Say hi, Jujuan.
Hi, everyone.
We're so happy to hear you. I've been hyping you up. So I want to make sure that I share his bio with you guys. Bam. Okay. I want to make sure I share the bio. I thought it was really cool, and it gets right to the point. So I'll share the bio, and then we'll move right over to the Zoom room. So at 9 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on live, make sure that you go to elizabethvisionaryconference.org and get your ticket to come join us into the Zoom room for this next hour. It's going to be super juicy and delicious. You're going to love the information. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our special guest and get right into it. All right, so I have my own bio, but I want to make sure I keep this one. I want to get all the juicy deliciousness that he sent. So Jujuan Buford is a managing partner, co-founder, serial entrepreneur, writer, and public speaker. Jujuan started his career in the banking and investment advisory industry, transitioned into business ownership, and is enjoying entrepreneurial success in the business development and technical assistance industry. He is highly effective at helping entrepreneurs to develop and install mindsets, that's us right there, habits, and systems that help them maximize and retain their most talented partners and staff, build a culture of accountability, improve sales management, and create organizational cohesion and buy-in. He is called on regularly for his insight and wisdom by other entrepreneurs when confronted with intra-organizational challenges or when confronted by a lack of motivation or clear focus. In other words, he that man you call when there's Ghostbusters, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Yeah, so if you have an issue in your business and you just stumped and you're like, I really don't know how to take where I'm at, this place where I'm stuck, and turn it into a practical part of my business, or get the practical solution to my business. Jujuan is definitely the person you want to turn to. He is my Ghostbuster. All right, Jujuan. So without any further ado, ladies, I would like to introduce to you Jujuan Buford. Go ahead and take it away, Jujuan.
Well, number one, I want to thank you so very much for the invitation here to be with you all. It's truly a privilege and an honor. And of course, Lakita, you know how much respect I have for you and your passion for community and upliftment and just wanting to see people become their highest and best selves. So I'd be remiss if I didn't thank you and also pay it forward, congratulate you and your success and what you're doing here. And for the audience here, I mean, I can't really give much better of an introduction. The check's in the mail, Makita.
Thank you. I'll take that.
She pretty much summed it up on the head. But just to give you my brief Dun and Bradstreet, so you know I'm just not a talking head. My professional background is, once again, former investment advisor. I actually started out in the banking industry almost 20 years ago. And I didn't last long. I lasted all about 3 to 6 months. Reason being is I brought in $1 million of new revenue to the bank, which 20 years ago was a lot of money. I think it's a pretty penny today too, but back then it was certainly a lot of money. I brought in that type of revenue in the first 3 months, and they gave me a $50 Marshall Fields gift card as my reward. So I quit, and I basically loaned my work ethic, talent, and willingness to learn to myself and started my own practice as an investment advisor. And I'll be transparent with you. It sucked in the first 2 years. It was bad. Okay. I had never been an entrepreneur before full time. I didn't have the entrepreneurship muscle, but what I did have was incredible stubbornness. Okay. And I had a daughter that needed to be fed. How many of you know that when your children have to eat, you'll do whatever it takes, right? And so being a single parent, I put my head down and I went to work. To tell you how tough the environment I was in, I found out 2 years into my career that the other agents in the office I worked in, they actually had a pool of money they set aside where every single month they bet how soon I would quit. And they would come up with ways to get me to quit. And I found out about that. So it gives you an idea of the type of environment that I was in. But nevertheless, I came out of that, once again, started my own agency, became one of the few African-Americans in the history of the state of Michigan to actually start up their own general agency, get that process underway. And then once I did that, 2008 transpired. And I think we all remember what 2008 was like. I was talking to a group of business owners yesterday, and I said, they call it a recession, but here in Detroit, it was a depression. Okay, I had clients that on paper owned millions of dollars in real estate, owned dealerships. They couldn't afford to buy a beer 2 months later. So it was tough. And in the process of trying to figure out what I was going to do during 2008, business owners were not coming to my office asking to invest money. They weren't asking for the latest, greatest return or ROI. They were like, Mr. Buford, I need a business plan. Mr. Buford, I need a marketing plan. Mr. Buford, I'm getting ready to go through a divorce. Mr. Buford, IRS is auditing me. I'm getting ready to lose my business. My partnership is dissolving. My business is dissolving. What can you do to help me out? And over almost 15 years of walking in and out of business owners' offices all across the United States, some of them earning $20,000 a year, some of these businesses earning $20,000 a day. You can imagine I learned a lot, right, from dealing with these business owners. I didn't realize I had this treasure trove of experience inside of me. And when people would come to me with their problems, I kind of just was able to very quickly tell them what they needed to do. If they needed a document, I was able to get it to them. They needed to think their way through a problem, I was able to give it to them, not because I was so great or so wonderful, but because I had met all these successful business owners over a 15-year period of time, literally 10 to 15 business owners a week. And so I had all this knowledge that I found out was very valuable to people. So I made the transition from being an investment advisor to more or less being a B2B entrepreneur. And I want you to pay close attention to the language I'm using before I get into this, right? I said B2B entrepreneur. I didn't say coach. I didn't say life coach. I didn't say life consultant. I'm not a person that makes money off telling people what to do. I build businesses. I have a real estate business. I have an online publishing company. I have my B2B consulting company. I have my PPLSI business that I've built. I am very much an entrepreneur that is actively building businesses. I just don't mind taking time to help other entrepreneurs do the same thing because I believe a rising tide lifts all ships, right? So there's a big difference between me and everyone else, okay? If you're getting ready to take a trip through the Amazon and you know it's dangerous waters, do you want to take the travel agent that's just read about it, or do you want to take the tour guide that's taken the trip numerous times, right? So I'm not a guru. Don't pretend to be a guru. I'm a guru who does not mind sharing, right? So just to give you a little bit of my background, my mindset, hopefully even a bit an idea of terms of my philosophy and my approach to business. So with that being said, when Ms. Paquita Taylor or Appice contacted me and said, look, I want you to give a talk on entrepreneurship, I was like, wow, that's such a huge topic. I can go a million different directions with this, right? But where I'll start is where I start with most entrepreneurs. Most entrepreneurs who contact me, typically there's some incongruence, right? They fall in love with their business, or they don't know where to start in terms of getting their business off the ground. Or maybe, quite frankly, you've had success, right? Your business is beta test. You have clients, you have products, you've been doing well, but that's all you've been doing is just well, right? You've been doing good. We know the enemy of great is good, right? Or maybe you reached a point where you realize you need scale, but you don't know how. You don't know how to find good help. When you find good help, you don't know how to retain good help, right? I hear a majority of business owners that I work with today, the biggest thing they, quite frankly, complain the most about is I can't find good people. And then when I have good people, I can't keep good people. People don't want to work. People don't want to do this. People don't want to do that. And usually that's when I get the phone call. People realize I'm spending all this money. I'm spending all this time. I want to scale my business. I want to grow so I can help more people. And quite frankly, I want to earn grown adult income so I can comfortably pay my bills and live the lifestyle I want to create for myself, right? And so usually the first handful of questions I ask entrepreneurs when they come to me and they're at this place, right, where they've lost that love and feeling from their business or they just don't know where to go, is number one, what's your why? And I know it sounds corny. We've all heard it a million times. Define your why, define your why, right? People say, why is that important? Isn't it more important that I get a product or service out there in the marketplace? People are buying from me, so I'm earning revenues. Yes, that's important. But I just firmly believe if you lost that love and feeling for your business, 9 times out of 10 is because there's incongruence. I just firmly believe that you can't put your life's energies behind a compromise. And if you're not in alignment with your values, if you're not in alignment with your internal soundtrack, what matters most to you, if you're not in alignment with how you want to serve the world, and the gift that you want to give to the planet. If you're not in alignment with serving the people that you really like to serve, it's difficult. I'm not going to give you the pie in the sky BS.com that you find on Facebook and Instagram and all these other places. Entrepreneurship is difficult, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to tell you that just because you choose to be an entrepreneur, man is going to fall from the sky. It's not, okay? 2% of the US population earns 100K per year. Don't get it twisted. Don't believe the hype. The people that you see driving around downtown Detroit and anywhere else, they're renting their lives, okay? They're renting their lives. They don't earn 100K. Only 2% earn 100K. Okay. Most people are living check to check. They just living the champagne life on a beer budget. You can't tell because of social media. Okay. Out of that 2%, a small percent of those individuals are entrepreneurs. So what does that tell you about entrepreneurship? Number one, if you've been able to start a business and just generate revenues, you're in rare air. If you've been able to start a business and take on clients and earn enough money to actually pay your bills, oh, you're very rare. And if you reach a point where your business actually creates and curates a lifestyle of abundance, where you get money as an issue out the way, or what I refer to as a six-figure income plus, trust me, everybody wants to become a millionaire. Everyone wants to become a billionaire. I'm willing to believe that almost every single one of you, if you woke up tomorrow and your business is kicking out 100K per year, whether you rolled out of bed or not, meaning it was truly an asset, paying you 100K per year, which means you don't have to work anymore. I think almost every single one of you would be like, you know what? I'll take that, right? That's good. I can work with that, right? I think that's most of us, okay? But the issue is, it's difficult. It takes a lot of energy. And my experience has been when I talk to most business owners, one of the first questions I ask them is, what's your why? And 90% of the time, they really can't tell me. And that's a problem, because that's why you're feeling tired. Because the business or endeavor you're involved in, while it may be generating revenue, you can't summon the passion and the focus to stay in it and pay the price that you need to pay and learn the things you need to learn to become elite. Because keep in mind, trust me, if you are earning enough money to pay your bills, or if you're earning at least 100K per year, you are elite. You're like the Serena Williams and the Venus Williams of entrepreneurship. Trust me, you are. And that takes a lot of work. The Williams sisters sacrificed. They gave up a lot. There were parties they did not go to. There were functions they didn't go to. They were on the tennis court with their dad late at night when their other peers were having fun and doing other things. They sacrificed their teenage years to become elite. And then they went out on a court with an immune issue. Venus Williams always had some type of immune syndrome. So she was always sick. She was always tired. She was always going through it. Serena Williams had multiple injuries out there in Wimbledon. In order to become elite, that's the price they paid. Well, that's akin to entrepreneurship. You're going to have issues. You're going to have challenges. Deaths are going to occur. People are going to disappoint you. Things are going to happen with your children. Car accidents are going to occur. BS.com is going to find you. Just because you earn more money does not mean challenges and tribulations don't stop coming. The difference between entrepreneurs who succeed and become elite and those who don't is, despite the pain and hardship, we do it anyway, right? Just like elite athletes, we go through the bumps and bruises, we go through the pains, we go through the heartbreak, we go through the disappointment, and we do it anyway. And so that's why I go so hard on the why, okay? Because if your why is not right, it doesn't matter how potentially lucrative your business is going to be. You're not going to have the energy. You're not going to have the focus. You're not going to have the fire to do what you need to do. Now, I'm going to go a little bit deeper upon the why, right? In other words, when I ask on what's your why, the reason why I ask that question is I'm trying to find your fire, or what some people refer to as your power. That's what I'm really searching for. So I'll give you a case in point of what this sounds like and the type of questions you should be answering yourself. So I sat down with a lady approximately 3, maybe 4 months ago. No, it was 6 months ago. She was starting up a cannabis business. I said, great. And she was excited about it. I said, great, you want to start up a cannabis business? Okay, fantastic. I was like, why are you doing it? She says, because I grew up in the culture and I like smoking cannabis. I know other people like smoking cannabis, and I think it'd be a viable business option. I said, you know what? That logically makes sense, but that's not good enough. Everybody feels that about the cannabis industry. I want to know, why are you doing it? And she says, well, because my mother does it and I do it, and I just feel like I can help a lot of people with it. And I told her, no, that's still not good enough. It's not good enough. I need to know why. I need to know why you are really doing it. What motivated you to say, I'm going to get up and get into an industry that is like shady as all get out, highly expensive to participate in. You are a consumer in the industry. You've never been a producer, which means you got a lot to learn. Why would you choose such a difficult, intensive industry to go into? And she gets real quiet. And I said, I need you to tell me what pisses you off, what angers you, or what gives you energy. What angers you? What activates you? Because that's the real reason. And she told me the real reason. She said, look, I've been taking care of my mother for the last 10, 15 years. She has some type, I can't recall the disease she has, but it's been slowly but surely breaking her down. And her mother reached a point where she really can't even leave the living room anymore. She just sits in the living room, goes to the bathroom, back to the living room, because it's so painful for her to walk. It's so painful for her to go out in public. She doesn't go to the park. She doesn't go to the grocery store. She just sits in her living room. And she said one day she brought home an edible, left it out on the table, didn't realize her mother got up and had eaten it, not realizing it was an edible. And she said the following day she saw her mother get up and walk to the window and sit on the porch for like a couple moments and come back and sit down. She said she had never seen that in years. So she brought home another edible and kind of left it there. Her mother ate it again. And she did like not in a whole portion, small portion. She said a week later, she was going to the bathroom by herself. She was walking around the complex. Her mood had changed dramatically. The pain she was having in her joints, the pain she was having in her bowels. She says all this stuff was alleviated. And she watched that and she said she cried. She cried because she knew so many other women like her mother who are in that type of pain, but they can't go to the cannabis shop or store or area because they're afraid, right? Some of these environments are unsavory. There's still a stigma, particularly among older women. Younger women have kind of thrown it off, but older women still feel some kind of way about people knowing that they use cannabis, right? She said that oftentimes older women don't have access to transportation, resources, et cetera, to do it. And she says, the reason why I want to start the cannabis business is to serve those people. I said, that's your reason why. That is the reason why you will get up and build your business. When things get tough, when you don't have the money, you'll find a way. When you don't know what you need to know because of that, you'll find a way. When you don't feel like it, when you're tired from work, you'll still get up and do the work. See, that's the type of why and that's the type of energy, that's congruence you need to have in your business in order to be successful, right? That also answers the questions, who do you want to serve? Remember before she said, I want to serve everybody. But once I found out what her why was, I found out exactly who she wants to serve. She doesn't want to serve everybody. That just sounds good to the public. The biggest mistake entrepreneurs make, especially in the beginning, is you're trying to share a why that you think will be amenable, that you think will be palpable, that you will be acceptable to the public. Look, this is not a dress rehearsal. You only got one life to live. Everybody else is already taken. Do you? If you're motivated by money, purses, $1,000 shoes, taking trips, then roll hard on that. If that's you, that's you. If you're motivated by helping people, go hard on that. You want to help people? Great. You're motivated by being a nerd. You probably can tell I'm motivated by knowledge. I like learning things and doing things. I'm the type of person I learn, so I can't wait to go out and do it. I can't sit on it, right? You have people who are motivated by that. You have other people who are motivated, they just want to have fun. They can be broken on their knuckles. As long as they're having fun, they're good, right? You got to define what gives you energy. Stop writing down things that you think are going to be favorable and well received to other people around you. That's not where your power is. Your power is in your passion and in your values and the things that matter most to you. That's where you're going to find your energy. Because remember, if you're going to build a decent income as an entrepreneur, you need to become elite. You got to have elite energy, elite motivation. I'm talking Serena Williams, Venus Williams, Michael Jordan, hot, white desire to succeed. And succeed doesn't always mean financially, because if you're succeeding at scaling and helping more people, the finances will come. If you're helping more and more people, you're going to earn more and more money. If you solve people's needs and you help them do what they need to do, trust me, you'll never want for money. But you may be money motivated. If that's you too, listen in. I need you to be okay with that. You don't need the front. If money motivates you, then let that be your thing, because that's where your energy is at. So the other thing that I was able to help her understand is that, look, your target market are people like your mother. People who are 60, 70, 80 years of age, who fit that cultural demographic, who are going through extreme pain, who are limited because of the pain and illnesses they're dealing with and a lack of support, right? And I told her, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but who do you want to serve? How do you want to serve is what we uncovered. So now we defined her why, what really gives her energy. But we've also defined who she wants to serve, right? Who her core focus is, who her core niche is. And if you can define your core focus and niche, if you define what you want to do, if you can define how you want to serve, you define who you want to serve, now you can start to project 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years out. See, now you can define your competitive advantage, right? Her competitive advantage, her niche is different than everyone else's. Most people are going into the cannabis industry, are not going to the cannabis industry to serve 60, 70-year-old women, African American women who are suffering from illnesses. But that's her niche. That's her power. That is what's going to separate her from her competition. See, the reason why, if you are starting and stopping, the reason why you're not getting traction in your business a lot of times is because the road is foggy. What do I mean by that? If you're driving, you woke up this morning and the road was so foggy that you couldn't see 3 feet ahead of you. Let's be real, you're not driving 50 or 60 miles per hour. You're not. You are going very slow because you know you cannot see where you're going. And if you run into a pothole here in Detroit, we don't have potholes, we got craters. So if you run in that crater, you lose your vehicle. Okay. If you hit somebody, if somebody hits you, you can't see them coming, you know you're going to have problems. Well, it's the same way in entrepreneurship. If you're going slow, if you're tentative, if you're not bold, 9 times out of 10, you have too much fall. You haven't identified your wow. You haven't identified who you want to focus. You haven't identified your niche. And so the road is foggy. You can't look out 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now and define your future because the road is foggy. You haven't defined who you want to serve and what you want to be doing. That's right, part of the reason why this is so important, right? You have to be able to define these things. You have to look out and say, okay, 10 years from now, ideal world, my impact, right? The vision I have, the way I want to serve the world, it's working. People are receptive to it. How am I going to be serving? What is my business going to look like? How many people am I going to be serving, right? What other products and services do I envision myself in? How are you going to be living, right? Look, I'm a little bit of a whale too. I like to serve other people, but let me be real with you. It's hard to serve other people when you're drowning. Part of success as an entrepreneur is generating enough revenue so you can serve other people, but so you can serve you, because it's hard to think about being really successful and helping other people when your stomach is touching your back. Okay, I don't care how much of a giver you are. When your stomach is touching your back, it's hard to think about other people, right? You need to ask yourself, how's your business going to serve you? When I'm analyzing business plans, 90% of the time, people don't even understand this. The reason why you're getting declined is because I cannot tell you how many business plans I've looked at where at 5, 10 years from now, the person has not defined what their salary is going to be. The person has not defined what their lifestyle is going to be. People don't put that in their business plans. If I'm an investor, which I look at the world from the eyes of an investor because I'm a former investment advisor. If I'm a banker, if I'm a private investor, one of the first things I look at is how much money do you plan on paying yourself? Because if that's not in there, then that means you haven't accounted for yourself. And if you haven't accounted for yourself, when you start generating revenue, you're going to constantly have this pool between paying yourself and taking care of your family and investing in your business. It means you haven't thought deeply enough about this issue, right? So that's a reason why I promise you, you talk to people who are in the capital acquisition industry, they'll tell you 90% of the time, the reason why they decline business plans is because the business owner hasn't even accounted for themselves in the business plan. That's one of the number one issues, right? So these things are important, right? So you can define 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, 1 year from now, how you're going to be living, who you're going to be serving, how you're going to be serving, how much in the way of revenue is going to be generating, et cetera, right? Also, we talk about niche. Another question that I pose to individuals is, what's going to be your guarantee? What's going to be your guarantee? What's the thing that's going to separate you from your competition? What's the thing that's going to make you unique? What's the thing that's going to make you elite? Remember, people don't pay 5-star prices for White Castle hamburgers, right? So if you expect people to compensate you what you're worth, if you expect to be in a situation where you're not scratching and clawing and constantly looking for clients all the time, you have to put yourself in a situation where you bring a value prop that is unique and different from everyone else, where people have to come to see you in order to get what it is that you have. So I'm gonna give you a couple simple examples, right? Everyone I think here is over the age of 30. So we probably all are familiar with Domino's Pizza, right? I remember Domino's Pizza when they first started. Domino's Pizza was some little small mom and pop. There was no Domino Farms when they first started. They were little small little pizza joints struggling like everybody else. And then Domino's did something different about 20, maybe a little over 20 years ago. They were the first pizza joint to come out with a guarantee. Does everyone remember that? When McDonald's, not McDonald's, but when Domino's would guarantee that we would get your pizza there at a certain amount of time. If you didn't like it, you could send it back. And I remember in the pizza industry, it was like, you crazy, no way in the world. Like you're gonna go out of business overnight. The exact opposite happened. People are like, wait a minute, you're gonna guarantee the pizza to taste good. You're gonna guarantee it's gonna get here within 15, 20 minutes. And then if it doesn't, you're gonna get my money back. Man, we all started ordering Domino's. I want you to think about your business the same way. That was their guarantee. Now look at the entire food industry pretty much, right? Everyone's doing that now. For the most part, you order something on DoorDash, if it doesn't get there in a certain amount of time, the quality isn't good, they give you some type of what? Refund. Instacart does the same thing. Most restaurants do the same thing. Domino's set that standard, right? What's your guarantee? I guarantee to my clients, I'm gonna give you a just totally different situation, different industry. When I'm having sessions with clients and talking to them, whether it be 30 minutes or an hour, I always guarantee my client right at the outset that when this is done, I want you to give me on a scale 1 through 5. 1 being it was a complete waste of time, Jujuan, you suck, you don't know what you're talking about, I will never chat with you again, and don't just lose my number. Versus 5, I want, if it's a 5, it means you learned something new today. I clarify something for you today. I brought you a certain type of value, or I created a situation where you feel like had you not met me, you'd still be along a certain path, where I cut your learning curve. Maybe instead of a 5-year time frame to get something done, I cut it down to 1 year, 1 through 5. And my guarantee is every single time you're gonna say 5. And if you say 5, you gotta pay me what I asked for. That's my guarantee, right? What's yours?
Can I use that one?
Sure.
That's a good one.
But what's your guarantee, right? We know Jimmy John's, right? Jimmy John's, walking Jimmy John's, they tell you, was it like 5-10 minutes, something crazy like that? Or it's free, right? What's your guarantee? What's your signature worth? If someone does business with you, acquiring a product, service, online, offline, what are you going to guarantee them, right? This is important. And look, I know I'm condensing a lot in a short amount of time. Trust me, the presentation I have is about an hour and I'm trying to condense it in like 30 minutes. I promise at peace that I wouldn't take forever. So I'm giving you a lot. But what's your guarantee? Now here's the other thing. What's your process? Your guarantees determine your process. Everything I do is not around earning money. Everything I do is my process is all focused around my guarantee. My guarantee is my competitive advantage. My guarantee is my uplifting service agreement with my clients. My uplifting service agreement with my clients is what my guarantee is. Everything in my business model is designed to deliver on my guarantee, right? It should be the same thing with you. If you're having a hard time trying to figure out what it is that you should be doing on a day-to-day basis, you don't know what your key performance indicators are, if you're having a hard time onboarding people, it's because you haven't defined your process, right? There's a process to everything you do. We all have a process. We all have a process. Trust me, we do. Every one of you wakes up in the morning and you have some type of routine that you've been doing since the time you were alive for the most part, right? Everyone wakes up and in some order, they brush their teeth, wash their face, take a bath, get dressed. You have a routine. You pretty much do the same thing every single day, whether you realize it or not. So you have a process almost everything in your life. You probably eat around the same time. You put your shoes on around the same time. You probably call your family and friends around the same time. We all have processes. You need to have a process for your business. And that process needs to revolve around your guarantee. If you're having a difficult time taking on clients consistently, it's because you haven't defined your process. And then more importantly, if you're having a hard time finding good employees and keeping good employees, people oftentimes want to blame the employees. And look, good employees are a little bit difficult to come by. I will admit that. On the flip side of it though, if you don't have a process in place and you onboard an employee and you haven't given them a track to run on, of course they're going to fail. Of course they're not going to serve you. They don't know what they should be doing. See, the biggest issue that a lot of entrepreneurs have is you haven't made the transition from being an entrepreneur, self-employed micro business owner to a business owner. The difference is business owners have processes, right? So when you onboard someone, when you find a talent or somebody you want to work with, the moment they start, there should be a process. There should be a roadmap to follow. And let me tell you this, everything that works does not duplicate, but everything that duplicates works. Some of you are doing things that cannot be duplicated, and therefore you will never find freedom. You have to find a way to write down things that you do in a manner that duplicates. Because you're not going to find anyone who has your exact life experience. You're not going to find anyone who has your exact skill set. You're not going to find someone who has the same degree of talent that you have. You're not going to find people who are welded and shaped the exact same way you are. But there are things that you do that can be duplicated. People may not be able to give the same presentation I can give using the exact same words and language I give. Why? I got almost 20 years of experience of working with entrepreneurs. Most people just don't have that. 15 entrepreneurs a week for 20 years across the United States. But I can create a PowerPoint that can tease out the majority of stuff that I talk about, and a person that may not be me can still read that PowerPoint and bring value. You see what I'm saying? You got to find things that duplicate. Not everyone's going to be able to go into a restaurant, a mixer, or any type of social event and approach people the exact same way that I know how to approach people, how to read people's body language, how to read their eye contact, how to pay attention to them linguistically. These are skills that I've honed over 20 years. But I can teach people something called form: family, occupation, recreation, motivation. Everyone you meet, you should form them. Family, occupation, recreation, motivation. Why? Because people do business with folks and they like, know, and trust. And people tend to like, know, and trust you when you talk to them about their family, their occupation, their recreation, their motivation, as opposed to just running up on them saying, hey, buy my stuff. See, I can teach people form. I can teach people to form people. So people will start to like, know, and trust them. There's a stronger likelihood they'll do business, right? You got to find processes. You got to find tools that people can use that they can't necessarily do it the way you do, but they can still be successful and they can duplicate. And these things need to be written down. They need to be simple assignments. They need to be so simple that a 7th grader can do it. And if you have your processes written down, I promise you, you'll have better luck with people that you hire. People that you hire and there's no process, they're frustrated too. And quite frankly, just like you have to teach people how to treat you, well, guess what? It's the same thing with your employees or your staff members or your virtual assistants. If you don't have a foundation, if you don't have a process, if you don't have a why, a target audience, they look at you and they don't see you as a serious business owner either. They see you as a hustle. So they treat you like a hustle. You see why the why and the focus is so important? It literally pours into every aspect of your business. But if you don't take the time to ask yourself these tough questions, you can't proceed on to A, B, and C and put systems in place, right? That's why this is important. You got to be able to find that process. And you have to literally, so I give you an exercise. As an investment advisor, people come into my office and they would say, well, I don't have enough money to invest. I would say, this is what I want you to do. I want you to take out a notebook. And when you take out this notebook, from today to 30 days from now, I literally want you to write down every dime that you spend. I don't care if it's 10 cents. I don't care if it's automatic transaction. I don't care if you have to go in your pocketbook. I don't care if it's plastic. And I know it's tedious. I know it's problematic. There's a reason why I'm forcing you to do this. I'm forcing you to slow down and speed up. I want you to write down every dime that you spend. And it's amazing what I would find out 30 days later. Number one, if you show me where people spend their money, I'll show you their priorities. That's number one. Number two, they were able to see that $10 worth of chips, pop, soda, and whatever else they're buying adds up. 10 times 30 is $300. People are able to see that fifth or whatever, the cigarettes. Everyone has their favorite coffee shop or their favorite cafe or restaurant they go to once a week. Some people go to almost every day, right? $20 here and there adds up. I was able to show families sometimes, they were shocked that at the end of a month, there was actually an additional $300 to $500, sometimes $600 of wiggle room in their budget they weren't even aware of. People saying, I can't save. Yeah, you can. You're just not aware of where you're spending your money. People say, I don't have time. You have time. You're just not aware of how you're spending your time. That jumping on 20, 30 minutes on Facebook, Instagram, those 20, 30 minutes of frivolous conversations, those 20, 30 minutes of getting mad, getting upset, those time, you don't lose time in 3-hour chunks. You lose time in the 10, 15 minutes of wasted chunks that accumulate over the course of time in a week, right? Well, look, that same acute attention that you can pay attention to how you spend your time and your money, you pay attention to what you do. From the time you meet a client, the process starts. From the time you make eye contact to the time that client says, yes, I'll do business with you, you should literally document every step of the way. Everything you say and do, everything that you send to the person, every message you send, everything that comes out of your mouth and every action you take, every text message, you should document it all. And then you should look at it and say, okay, what are the things that other people can do? What are these things that are unique to me that no one else can do? And then what are the things that everyone else around me, if I were to bring them on, that a 7th grader could do? And you should document that. And that's what you should hand to your employees. There are going to be some things that they just can't do because it's just unique to you. If you have a special relationship with a particular client or a prospect, they can't duplicate that. There's nothing you can do about that. As a business owner, you got to handle that. But what about all the other things that they could be doing, right? That's how you need to think about your business. That's how you scale. That's how you grow, right? And then once you've duplicated your process, once you define your process, then you can ask yourself, do the people get my mission? Do they get my values? Do they get what I'm passionate about? If they don't, they're just mercenaries. They're just showing up to collect a check. And that's okay, but understand a mercenary is not going to stay late. A mercenary is not going to arrive early. A mercenary isn't going to be at the job trying to figure out how they can help uplift the company and thus uplift themselves. They don't see they don't have a symbiotic connection to the company. They don't see that a rising tide lifts all ships. So if they don't get what your passion is, they don't get what your values are, they don't get really why your business exists beyond just making a buck. They're mercenary. And you're going to get mercenary treatment in return. They may show up to work, they may not. They may quit 2 months from now. You get mad at them. You get upset with them. They may say, you know what, forget you. I'm going to quit because they're not bought in anyway, right? But once again, I'm going to be redundant here. Do we understand why defining your why, who you want to serve and how you want to serve is so important? Because if you haven't defined those things, you are going to attract mercenaries, okay? You ultimately want to attract and work with people who have your same vibe, who are vibrating the same way you vibrate, who believe what you believe and share the values you share, because those are the people who are going to be around, okay? Then you have to ask yourself, okay, some people will get what it is that you do, but they don't want to be accountable to it. That's fair. Some people say, you know what? I respect that, but I don't want to be accountable to it, right? So once again, you got to ask yourself, okay, do they get what I do? That's number one. But then do they want to be accountable to it? They may not want to be accountable to your guarantees. So you know you're on borrowed time with them, right? Because they don't want to be accountable. The person doesn't want to be accountable will never be a leader. They'll just be a link, right? Some people are meant to link you to the proper people. They're not meant to lead in your business or organization. They're just meant to be links. It's important that you define them because a business owner will invest a lot of time in a link and then they're gone and you invested all this time and energy and they're gone and now you've taken an L, right? And then you have some people that need to be capable. They need to be capable of delivering on your guarantee. They need to be capable of delivering on your values. They need to be capable of delivering on your uplifting service agreement. These things are so absolutely important if you're going to have success long term. And hopefully these things are resonating with you in such a way where you have a better understanding of the mindset you need to have in terms of starting your business, but also the mindset you need to have in terms of actually growing your business. I can give you tactics. I can give you strategies. Trust me, I can write books on this stuff. But if you don't have the correct mindset, if your mental framework isn't right in terms of defining these things, it doesn't matter. You can grow your business. It's like an athlete becomes a multimillionaire, right? Because they can dribble that ball and throw that rock. But they never become a millionaire inside. So when they stop dribbling the rock and throwing the football, what happens to their money, right? You want to be that entrepreneur that actually has these things down. Because let me tell you this, and I'll wrap up here. I know I've gone over probably 10, 15 minutes. I stopped looking at the clock, so I'm sorry. But look, the recession's coming. And a lot of tall trees are about to burn down. The recession's coming. Warren Buffett says, you don't know who's really naked until the tide recedes. There are a lot of people right now who are earning money. There are a lot of people right now who look popular. There are a lot of people right now who look like they're legitimate, who are earning monies they really should not be earning because they're really not bringing value. When the tide recedes, when a recession comes, the people who are still standing will be the individuals who have core values, who have a core focus. They're really bringing value. They're really bringing guarantees. They're really doing things right. So when a recession comes, you're not going to be afraid because your business isn't going to stop. I'm just speaking from experience. I've been through 2000. I was a business owner in 2000. So you're not talking to somebody that's been a W-2 working jobs periodically. I have not worked jobs in my adult life. I've only built businesses. So I don't know what having a job is like. I wouldn't last 2 seconds on that. Trust me, I get fired in 2 seconds. So all I've done is build businesses. In 2000, I was a business owner. In 2008, I was a business owner. Today, I'm a business owner. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not afraid of the recession. I'm looking forward to it. And if you're really an entrepreneur, you will look forward to it because when the tide recedes, because you're rooted in your values, you're rooted in your focus, you're rooted in helping people and bringing value. You're rooted in a system. When the wind blows, you'll be that tree with deep roots that just kind of weathers the storm, as opposed to the ones that get washed away, right? And this is the piece is so absolutely important. If you get these things right, you have the foundation to build a fantastic business. Is this going to guarantee your success? No, no one's deserving of success. No one deserves success. No one is especially blessed by God. I'm sorry. No, success must be earned and the rent is due every single day. You got to get up and do the work. But if you're rooted correctly and you're doing the work, don't be afraid of the recession. Celebrate it. Because when you're the only one last standing, guess who's going to take all that windfall? Guess who's going to enjoy all that clientele? Not because you won at other people's expense, but because you won because you gave people value. All right, I'll press pause there.
Ooh, that was delicious. And we've been meditating on trees. So this whole thing is tying in for me. I don't know about y'all, but I'm picking up what he is laying down. I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. Ladies, anybody have any comments, anything that they want to share? Please do so. Let me read some of these comments in the chat to you, Jujuan. This is very good information. This is from Pam. This is very good information. Thank you, Mr. Buford. Thank you, Peace. You're welcome, Pam. Allison says, Mr. Buford, did you put down your information? Oh yeah, make sure you put your information in the chat for us so it can stay in touch with you. But ladies, who has anything they want to ask, say, share, please do so.
I just want to step in. I want to say I had to step off camera, but I was listening. Everything that he says, is absolutely crown jewels and it's absolutely true. And I say that because I worked with an uncle of mine that had a business, that still has a business, and everything that he talked about, he has gone through. I have seen, the entrepreneurial burnout. I have seen the disappointment when things are not working. I can see when you get out of your passion about the services about what you're doing and how that affects how you actually work. But I've also seen us put system in place. I'll be honest, my uncle has his children's hair salon here in Detroit, and I've seen us do gross sales of $200,000, $300,000 in a year by putting certain systems in place, by making sure we have our guarantee, by making sure our customer service follow up, and we customer retention. I've seen that. So I have a little taste about having certain things in place to make sure that things grow. But I also seen the flip side when life happens, things get topsy-turvy, and you get stressed out and it goes the opposite way. So I've seen the ebbs and flow of it all. And it really, entrepreneurship is really like this. It's an ebb and flow type situation. But if you have your proper systems in place, you will always have that income coming in. And it's, like I said, that's just reaffirming stuff that I've seen and been through probably over the last 20 years. The only difference between that is I was working for somebody else. Now it's time for me to apply that knowledge that I've worked for other people and apply it to my own business. So I have to say, I'm confirming everything that you said is absolutely positively 100% true, because I've lived it. I've lived through it. I've seen it, and I'm, partly going through it right now. So great information. And I can't wait to actually sit down with you, Mr. Buford, myself, and apply some of this knowledge to, to my own business. I just had to share that.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad the information was well received and landed the way I wanted it to land. And I celebrate success in advance. Thank you.
Hey, anybody else want to share what did you learn? What did you get out of today's session, or ask any questions?
Mama Health is
Oh, hey, Mama Head. I'm sorry. See your hand.
Greetings. Thank you, Mr. Buford, for coming on and sharing your gems. I was just talking with a friend and had some experiences with businesses like Lou's Deli or different restaurants or businesses that had their taste or their niche was a certain thing, and now you look at the quality, like the quality that the parents had when another, when the next generation comes along, it just, that standard isn't there, that passion isn't there. So I know what you're talking about when you talk about that. You may have visited a company for a certain, there's a certain unique item. And then when you go back and it's disappointing and you may have shared that with somebody, it's like your heart is broken because you remember when the passion was there. People would leave one side of town and go to a total another side to obtain a product. And when you get it and share with your friends, because because of the reputation, and it's disappointing, so I just want to say thank you for that. I got my notes and my pen and I'm taking notes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is Allison in Arizona. Thank you so much for hi everybody. Thank you so much for the
Allison.
Ma'am.
Can you put your camera on? If you can, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm still learning, Mom. I'm trying. So you guys, I have a BlackBerry. So this is tomorrow. Rob is going to help me to get on the to do this so that we can do the talk on the Earth ship.
Okay.
Mr. Buford, your words were nuggets of gold. I could just feel the wind go through my sleep cap as I was sitting here listening to you, because I'm noticing that I'm the CEO of Hope, which is Homes for Our People Everywhere, where we're building sustainable homes. Now, people are a little. Some people, I have nothing but. Am I still here?
Yes.
People, I've had nothing but acceptable words and encouragement. However, when I speak to the construction people, because this will be the first African-American owned sustainable earth building company in Arizona. And so they kind of don't take me seriously. But like you said, when you talked about the recession, I am looking forward to it, because I'm going to say, what recession? Mm-hmm. What really, no matter what, you just got to keep it moving. In the Bible, it even says, keep it moving. Corinthians, I forget, I'll go back and find it. But I am so wanting to talk to you and work with you to keep, the words that you said, I'm just sitting here going, I do that. I get up in the morning and I spend this time trying to get ready for a call, because I'm calling people on the East Coast early in the morning because of other things. And I'm going, okay, where is my focus? What is it that I'm doing? How can I make myself more efficient? And you were just like butter on my bread this morning, saying, here's how you do it. So I want to make sure that I get with you so that I can hone this in. I'm just so grateful. And I also, tomorrow morning, Rob's gonna make sure I'm on the phone at 5 o'clock so that I can do the talk on the sustainable earth. I want to encourage you to be on that because we're gonna do a PowerPoint on that as well. Thank you.
I accept that, and thank you. I appreciate it, and glad to know once again that a word served you well. I mean, I truly believe that a rising tide lifts all ships. Why everyone, I would say everyone may not be ready for entrepreneurship. We don't need everyone. We just need more. Right? We need more of us determining what happens at our kitchen tables. We need more of us determining what happens in our neighborhoods and our communities, as opposed to people who live outside our neighborhoods and communities, if you catch my drift, dictating to us, right? We need to determine what goes on the corner store and what doesn't. So I'm excited to hear that this worked out for you, and I celebrate your success as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. Does anybody have their hand up? Anybody else want to? Yes, Queen Aduni. Woo, woo. Go for it.
Thank you so much for allowing God to use you in your whole path to getting to this point of you sitting with us today. I thank you, and I thank you, Peace, for bringing him and inviting him, and having chosen to experience him, that you know who you're bringing amongst us. I have experience in the past, especially in the past year, of the manifestation of my desires and my needs to make it happen. And the people, I have a whole thing that says that immediately these people will come into my life to help me manage my life with finesse and all of that stuff. So I have been praying for. I have been going through who I know, and well, that would be good for this, but I need that. And you just said everything that is on the list that I could check off. Yes, 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 yes. So I would get emotional if I was to get involved in the conversation of what I need. I'm a person that I have a lot of, I juggle a lot, different ideas, and so and that type of thing. I am passionate about helping people that are passionate about their, about finding out what they're passionate about and showing them how to make that money, doing what you love to do. Yet I need that person that can help me to formulate that more succinctly, and where I can make money doing what I love to do. And that's what I love to do, is to help people find out what their passion is and show them how they can make money doing what they want to do. Yet I have a lot of balls juggling, and I need those balls to work together. I can't like only do this. That's not my personality. It's never been my personality. I'm an Aquarian, and things come. I'm very creative, and I'm a good leader. So I need someone who can help me zoom in and make it work. So I will definitely be calling you, because everything you said, I got my notes here. See, I got my notes, and I have, and everybody else know that this is recorded. So you can sit down and listen to this again, because sometimes when you're writing, you might miss something, or sometimes when you're, not listening, you're just listening, then you don't write something down. So you need both. So I want to just thank you, because I have been praying for you, and I have been desiring that you have the skin color that you have. I know that we have that within our own community that I can tap into on the level that I need it to be. So I really, 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 really appreciate you. And I will be contacting you because you know how you go through and you say, okay, you need all these things, but what's next? What's next? You are next, I'm telling you. So thank you for being here today. I'm gonna write this date down. As I found the next. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ashe. All right, we're coming around to the end of today's show. So is there anyone else that would like to share before we close out? Anyone at all, please do so now. You are welcome.
This is Allison. Tomorrow morning, we're doing the talk on the self-sustainable home. Queen Naduni, thank you for, and Mama Hethra and all you ladies, thank you for, you guys, I've never used Zoom before. And you have given me courage. I mean, I'm the pencil and paper that have stacks of it everywhere and just trying to deal with the notebook here and a notebook there. And so this was daunting for me. And you guys helped me find that little hand. And right now I don't know where my face is, but I'll find it tomorrow. Just thank you, because I feel like this is just a new endeavor for me. Like I have a whole new world. I'm like, wow, I could do this. People could actually see me. I mean, yeah, this is, thank you so much, because tomorrow's going to be great.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome, Allison. Thank you for joining us. Jujuan, would you like to, do you have any closing remarks before we close out?
No real closing remarks. I mean, I don't like to get started. Once I get started, you already know, I start nerding out and I'll keep going.
Right.
So what I'll do is I'll say, because there's so much I didn't want to share, but what I will, okay, so I'll leave you with this, right? Everyone has a goal setting. Everyone has a goal setting plan. The goal setting is difficult, it's skill trade, but very few people have a goal achieving plan, and you need both.
Mm-hmm.
You need both. So I hear so many people say, well, I've learned this information, I have these goals, I've set these goals, I have this vision for myself, I'm doing my affirmations, but I'm not getting traction. And 9 times out of 10, even after a talk like this, people still sometimes don't get traction. It's because you don't have a goal achieving plan. And it would take 30 minutes to talk about it, but I'm going to just give you one tidbit to help you with this. Just know that the human mind has about 60 to 80,000 thoughts per day, and that 80% of them are negative. And you can't do anything about it. It's how we're hotwired by evolution. You can't do anything about it, right? It's how we survive as long. Because remember, we've only had this technology for only 60 to 100 years. So before then, we were running from animals with sharper teeth who were stronger and faster than us. And if we ate the wrong berry, we died. So this negativity allowed us to survive. But it kills us as entrepreneurs, because you can't be creative and you can't succeed when you're negative, right? You can't do anything about it. It's in your cerebellum, your cerebrum, and your cerebrum is really what's controlling everything, okay? It's hotwired. You're negative, you can't help it. But what you can do is constantly offset it. So if you've taken notes today, if you have, if some seeds were planted today, what I'm going to encourage you to do is put it in an index card, put it in your appointment book, take a snapshot of your notes, put it in your phone, make your thoughts and the things that you want to do omnipresent, where every couple moments per day, you can't help but to look at it. Like my goals are in my phone. I have reminders in my phone to tell me my goals are out. When I look at the screen share on my iPad, my goals are there. My goals are everywhere all the time, because I know I have to offset the 60,000 to 48,000 negative thoughts that I'm having, right? And that's part of the goal achieving plan. So this was just a talk if you don't do that. It was a training, it was life changing if you use the information to take action with it, right? Whatever notes you took, whatever things that resonated with you today, I want you to take that, put it in your own words. I want you to define a couple things you want to accomplish, and then look at it as many times per day as humanly possible to offset the negative thoughts that are inevitably going to come and say hello to you. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's what I would close with.
That's
and thank
beautiful.
you again.
That's perfect, because write it on your mirror in your bathroom, or put a sticky note on the mirror in your bathroom, because you're gonna go in your bathroom if you don't go anywhere else in your house. Okay, you're gonna go in your bathroom, and while you're in there, while you're washing your hands, say and read the affirmation. Don't just glaze by it. Read it. You know, your goals. You can put goals on your mirror, whatever you need, right? So like he said, you constantly have them in front of you. So that was a great point. Thank you. Mama Queen Aduni, yes.
Yeah, I would like for the Grand Rising Elizabeth to add an assignment on your for you for not for you, but let us let's begin today, because we're at the top of the day. Let us begin to keep a record of everything that we're spending or circulating. Let's get a hold of this money issue. The joy of it, let us turn everything into joy. Let us do that. Now, you know, I've been on actually we've completed 40 days with Nawili. And we're going further on that, exercising every single day I exercise. And so I am going to take it, and I challenge you all to let's get account of this money, because what he said about the recession and how things are changing, it is so real. It is so real. And so even if like you got someone that's going to come in at peace and talk about, you know, investment, the young lady that you got, well, if we don't have anything to invest, then what, you know, we just having a conversation, a listening session. But he's showing us now what to do so that we can say, yeah, I do have that. Even if it's that we had $10, you know, but the thing of it is being aware of what we're spending and what we are circulating, whichever word you want to use. But the thing is not there when it's time to take advantage of people, you know, losing houses and stuff. If you don't have any money to take advantage of those, then someone else gets the blessing of that. So we want to be, as sisters, we want to be in that position as a people. We want to be in that position. So I'd like to put that out as a challenge, that as of today, because it's early, right now it's about to turn 10 o'clock, that it's 10 o'clock, we take advantage and be responsible and aware of that. How about that? Y'all join me?
I like it.
Put a yes in the chat if you are going to join me in that.
I like it.
An account of our money.
I'm glad the recession came up. I do want to make sure that we keep that conversation going about the recession. If you haven't been doing any research on it, please research. Please, knowledge is power. Empower yourself with the knowledge of what's happening in the financial world, because whether you like it or not, it will affect you. You know, so make sure that you are figuring that out. No one knows when the recession is hitting. I feel like it's happening right now.
Yeah,
I think it's just going to be a slow little
now.
drip. It's just a little drip right now with the gas and the food and all of this, but it's definitely going to get more intense. Like we've already been discussing in other shows, make sure you have your supplies, make sure you have things set up, you know, get with your neighbors, people immediately around you, make sure you have that connection, you know, and do your best not to fall in fear. I don't know if some of you have been seeing the memes that I've been posting about pull your energy back. Like when all of the drama hits, because it's going to hit, you know, I would say anywhere between now and October, we'll probably see a huge shift that happens that we weren't prepared for. But pull your energy back and focus up even more, ground yourself, connect even more with the core of who you are, right? Because that is how you survive any trauma, or at least even when the pandemic hit and everybody was running around, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. I was one of the few people that was making videos and putting it out there like, no, don't panic. Wait, well, hold on. Wait, this too will pass, you know. So we got to hold on to that same mindset when it comes around again. And it probably will feel a little more uncomfortable this time than it did last time. So it's just like giving birth. You know, I'm a doula. So it's just giving birth. You breathe through it. You ground yourself. You stay focused on where it is you want to be, where your outcome you want to hit, and allow everything else to just happen around you. You know, so I think we got a good core group. I would love to see a part 2 of this conversation, maybe next month or later this summer, Mr. Buford. So we'll talk about that. Right. So I would love for him to come back and maybe even do a series of things. Who knows? So yeah, so I thank you guys so much for participating, for joining in. Danyelle, thank you for sharing your time with Jujuan. I really appreciate that. And for everyone for showing up. Thank you so much for showing up and participating. I hope you got some really good information. And before we close out, we got to give that last one word. Anybody got one word for me? One word, just one. Sometimes that's hard, especially people that like to talk like myself. But one word that can sum up where you are energetically right now. How do you feel? What did you get out of today? Just one word. No wrong answer.
Ready.
Ready. Okay, Miss Head, ready. Anybody else jump on in? Y'all know how we do. What'd you say, Pam?
My word is why.
Why? Oh, good word. Okay.
Truth.
Truth.
Guarantee.
Guarantee. Hey.
Prepared.
Prepared. Fina.
Absolute.
Absolute. Thank you. I think my word is going to be process. Process.
Yes,
My
yeah.
word. Yeah. So thank you all so much. Woo, woo. Next week, we'll have Prostel Thomas. He will be on sharing his story about, you know, what it's like to be a Black man in America from his experience, and just help walk us through the mentality of that and what we can do to support our men and to support our sons and to support our brothers through the mental stuff that they have to go through that we sometimes don't even take account of. We don't even pay attention to. Right. So he's going to give us some insight, give us some wisdom and some jewels on that. So make sure you join us next Monday at 8 a.m. I want to give a special thanks once again to Jujuan Buford for joining us, being our special guest. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And we look forward to seeing you next week. So you ladies, have a wonderful week. Thank you so much. Peace.
Hug yourself.
Hug yourself.
Everybody, hug yourself.
Hug yourself, Jujuan. We want to see it. Hug.
And hug the world. Yes.
I love it. Woo! Thank you so much. Peace, guys.